Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Come on in, welcome. Who's excited about Launchpad training today, number 3? I definitely am. But before we dive into that, we're gonna have our mindset minute because today we're gonna talk about and we're gonna tackle something that shows up for everyone, imposter syndrome, imposter syndrome. Now, if you've ever felt imposter syndrome, I want you to drop a me too in the comments because you are not alone. You are not alone. Because here's the thing, the way you think about your business shapes everything. It's a lot like wearing glasses. It's a lot like wearing glasses because when you take them off, the whole world looks different, right? The whole world looks different. And if you keep thinking, oh, this is so hard, that's exactly how it's going to feel. That's exactly how it's going to feel. But when you shift how you think, everything changes. And you don't need a perfect mindset. You just need to keep shifting how you see things a little bit at a time. Looks like we're having a little technical difficulty here. So let me just see what's going on here. All right, I think we're good. So let me know who's here for sure. Let me know who's here. So as I was saying, you don't need a perfect mindset, but you do need to have one that tells you how to take the next step, right? It's really about the next step. And shifting what you think changes everything. Let me give you an example. So this morning, I've had some trouble with the internet. ChatGPT is not cooperating. A bunch of papers fell off my filing cabinet randomly, and I was having an issue with my hair. Now, that was all pretty early in the morning. And I could have decided that this is the worst day ever, right? This is the worst day ever. Or what I could have decided is like, okay, you got it. Slow down. Don't trip on the wires that are in your office on the floor, which I have done. Just like slow down. And so by slowing down and looking at each individual thing that happened, I can move forward. But when I let everything sort of explode at once, imposter syndrome sets in and I think, what is going on here, right? So you have to shift how you see things. Now, you could have every single tool, template, strategy, but if your thoughts are working against you, you're going to stay stuck. Okay? So drop a me too in the chat if you've struggled with imposter syndrome, okay? Now, that's why I say pay attention to what you're thinking and choose thoughts that you believe and that you can believe and act on. So my thought this morning could be, you're a rock star. Everything's going to go perfect today. Well, I don't actually believe that, right? But from the hair having a problem and the papers dropping and the internet not working, I could just say, I can fix this. I have a blow dryer. I have 2 internet connections. I can switch to the other one and I can pick up the papers. Maybe there's something in the papers that I need to read right now. So I looked at the papers. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Right. So looking for opportunities. And I have to say that even with my ADHD, distractions, moments of overwhelm, I was still able to build a 6-figure virtual assistant business. And mindset has been a huge part of that. And remember, this is so key. Just because you think a thought, it doesn't mean it's true. I thought that for a very long time. Just because I thought something meant it's true. And, believe me, just because it crosses your mind, it doesn't mean it's true. So I want to take a second and I want to celebrate you guys being here because it's day 3. You've shown up, you've taken action, and you've stuck with this training, right? You've stuck with this training. And that's huge because life gets in the way. You could have quit a long time ago, but you didn't. So I want you to be proud of that, right? So drop something in the chat that you've learned or are excited about. Yes, good morning, says Crystal. Yasina is here. Trish is here. Samantha is here. Stacy's here. Awesome. Denise is here. All kinds of people are here. That's very exciting. So thank you. Thank you. But drop something in the chat that you've learned or you feel excited about. All right, so back to imposter syndrome. Okay, so I call this kind of thinking chicken chatter, right? Now I have chickens in my backyard. I have 25 chickens in my backyard. And I used to have this little chicken. Her name was Lillian. She's very sweet. And every time I went out to, we call it Chicken Village, where our chicken coops are, she would just start, and she was just like the henny penny, the sky is falling, and she was just talking the whole time. And it made me think about the voices in my head, which sound the same way, like, so that's why I named it chicken chatter, right? That's why I named it chicken chatter, because that little voice says, you're not ready, you're not smart enough, you're not tech savvy enough, you're not cut out for this, right? And that little voice is sneaky and it's powerful. But here's the truth. You are enough and you can do this, right? You've done hard things before. This is just one more thing to figure out, okay? Yeah, so Trish says, I've learned that just because it seems like just because it doesn't seem like something someone would pay for, someone will. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because here's the thing, there's all different kinds of circumstances. So here's a situation right here. So I'm here with you guys today. We have a community mixer later in the day. VA school is running and up, and I have students that are already in there, and I'm leaving for a wedding in Connecticut at 6:00 today. So there are things that I can absolutely do. We're having an issue with our calendar scheduling software. I need a new graphic made for announcing what we're going to talk about later on today. And so the first thing I did this morning was sit down and delegate. Now, all entrepreneurs that are running businesses need that. And so I have a team of multiple VAs. And so can I fix TidyCal? I don't know, probably. Can I make a graphic? Yes. Will it be as good as the one that someone else is going to make? No. But the truth is I never asked myself, should I do this? I know as a business owner, I shouldn't be doing this, right? And that goes for all kinds of things. So just because it's easy for Carrie to figure out TidyCal, or Malou is going to make a graphic that by the time I got out of the shower, she was probably already done, it doesn't mean it's not valuable. In fact, it's even more valuable. The busier I am, the more valuable the simple things are to me, because I don't have to worry about them, right? I don't have to worry about them. So that's a great insight, Trish, for sure. So I want you to know this, because this is really critical. You don't conquer imposter syndrome by overthinking, okay? You have to move through it by taking action. And small steps forward quiet the chatter, right? Oh, I can do this. I can do this. Now, here's another place where we get tripped up, and this really contributes greatly to chicken chatter. We worry about what other people think. How many of you worry about what other people think? Yeah, a lot of us do, and it's a behavior that we've been taught in our childhood, based on the dynamics that happen in your family. But you really have to start to think, what do I want? Right? What do I want? And it makes a big difference. And the truth is that worrying about what other people think is a couple of things. One, it's exhausting. The other is most of the time people aren't thinking about you at all, right? They're too busy thinking about themselves. And that's just kind of how it goes, right? And the other thing is, when you're afraid that people are judging you, it's just your ego trying to protect you. But you don't need protection. You need motion, right? You need motion. Now, when I started my virtual assistant business in 2010, every single friend of mine and my former husband told me not to do it. They were clear. Don't start a business, get a job, be realistic. You don't have what it takes. You've already had a business that's failed. And I'm so glad I listened to me instead of them, because that decision changed my life. Right? And most of the time when people say discouraging things, it's all about them. It has nothing to do with you. It's their fear, their limitations. And I don't want you to let them determine what you do in your life. When the chicken chatter starts up, just stop. Take a breath and reach for a better feeling thought. Okay? And you do it something like this. I've done big things before. I'm good at figuring things out. Even if this doesn't go perfectly, I'll be okay. What if this is exactly what I've been looking for? And those small shifts can turn panic into excitement, right? So you don't need to feel 100% confident. You just need to take the next best step. And courage fills the gap, right? So here's the game plan that I want you to try out when handling imposter syndrome. Okay, are you ready? Notice the chicken chatter. Take a deep breath and pause. Choose a better feeling thought. Take an action. Even tiny, tiny steps count. Use your past wins as fuel to remind you you can do things that you want and stop giving power to other people's opinions. Okay. So let's say I had a thought, I want to start my own business. And the chicken chatter comes in and says, you have no idea how to do that. And all your friends are saying, yeah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. And you just stop and you think, but I really want to do this. And I think I can find help and figure it out. And I don't have to know it all. I just have to know the next step. And I've done things before. Like in my case, I went back to college after I quit. I paid off all my debt. Like I've moved into this farmhouse. I've done hard things that a lot of people thought weren't possible. So I have what it takes. I just have to apply that to this, and then to stop asking for other people's opinions. See, that's the thing. We all have people in our lives who freely give their advice, whether we want it or not. But a lot of it is because we ask, what do you think? And that's what I stopped doing. I stopped asking, what do you think? Unless the person had a proven track record with what I wanted, right? I don't ask people because everyone has an opinion and most people want to help, but it's not always helpful. It's just confusing and overwhelming. And now I have all this information when I just really have to look inside and say, okay, what information do I need to make a decision? So you can succeed with imposter syndrome. Absolutely. In fact, most successful people have it, including myself. And the key isn't to get rid of it. It's actually the opposite. It's learning to live with it and teach it to speak to you with respect, right? Teaching it to speak with you with respect. So you get to retrain it. You get to guide it. You get to teach it to be kinder. And sometimes it's important to figure out whose voice it is and uninvite them from your head. There were two specific people living in my head, and I'm sure multiple at times, but more than that. But I just uninvited them. I just said, you know what? I don't need your opinion anymore. And it took time, but I moved them out. And now they come every once in a while. And I say to myself, oh, that's so funny. They think they can come back. Yeah, no, I don't think so. All right. Because here's the thing, you guys, you're not here by accident. You're here because you're meant for more. And today's session is where everything starts to come together. We've talked about showing up. We've talked about services. You've gotten clear on your why. You've learned how to talk about your business with clarity and confidence. And now we're going to talk about how you build real momentum. And we're going to pull back the curtain, and I'm going to show you what it takes to build a business that works so you can stop spinning, stop doubting, and finally move forward. We're going to talk explicitly about your pricing. You're going to leave this session with your hourly rate. Really important. And you're going to understand how to calculate it so you can adjust it and manipulate it and make it exactly what you need in your life. Okay? So if you've been thinking, can I really do this? Today's session is exactly what you need, because the answer is yes, if we do this together, right? So quick housekeeping. The live training starts at noon. If you're in the VIP experience, that's going to start at 2 p.m. All right. Homework the VA Launchpad in Action, where we review what happened today and we give away prizes, is tomorrow at 3 o'clock. All right, Friday. So I'll see you in the training at noon. I'm very excited to see you there. And I'm cheering for you. All right, every step of the way. I'll see you soon.